I just created a new array called chocolate bars here, and we kind of, instead of the other one that was kind of weird, and we want this one to be printed out to our page. So let's do a console log quick, so just like we had before, and chocolate bars like this, save, quickly refresh, and then we have it here. So this would be what we would have before, just with new information or new data. What we kind of want to do instead is we want to print out all of these. So instead of having it like this, like 0, colon, and then the Snickers, having just the text printed out. So like we did before, if we wanted to print out Mars, we would type in 1, and then boom, over here it says Mars. We want this to do this for all items in this one. Before we can do that, we kind of need to know how many items are in this array here. And you can say it says in parentheses 6 here, because there are 6 items or 6 elements. It also says at the bottom here, length equals, or equals colon 0. But we need to tell the system, not that one, to kind of make sure that it knows that it has the length of 6. So once it goes through something, we can actually see. And the way to convert an array or text into a number is just by, after here, chocolate bars, we want the system to calculate something for us. So we're going to calculate a length. So if you put in dot length after this one, it's going to print out the number 6 instead of the actual text. So it's doing a count and printing out the count instead. We are going to be using this length or the number value of this, to create a loop. So we're going to create a for loop that runs through the arrays and prints out one of these for each one. What we did kind of in the last few videos, but now we're using an array here. And we kind of want it to be, it's not like this. So our parentheses and our curly brackets here. And in the for loop, we firstly need to declare our I, and we're going to set it to 0. And the reason why so many people do this is because the first value up here, if you remember, is 0, and this is 1, and this is 2, and so on. So this is also a reason for why we usually set this to 0 instead of 1. That's the first one, starting point from our for loop. Then we need to do a as long as a condition, there we go, as long as I is smaller than some amount of numbers, it's gonna run. So once it's done running through all these items up here, the loop is gonna stop. And we're going to use the length here. So we're gonna convert all the text up here to a number, so it has something to count upon. And then that's why we say when I is smaller than a number, it's gonna print out the information. And what we want to print it out for is, the number we want is from chocolate bars dot length. So we're going to convert our text up here to the number. So that's a condition, and then we need to set how does it increment the number, and we just wanted to, for each loop, we're going to add one number, so +1. So first try it's 1, first try it's 0, second try this would be 1, third try that would be 2, and so on and so on. So let's try and print something out now. So we do a console log, and we just want to print out our, what do we want to print out? We want to print out our chocolate, like before, but instead of typing in 1, 2, 3, whatever, we can now use I, because I is being passed through from up here. So the first iteration, I is 0, so that would be 0. Second iteration, it would be 1, 2, 3, and so on. So for each loop, this number changes. So let's try this, go out to a browser and click save. And now you can see we printed out Snickers, Mars, Bounty, Twix, Kit Kat, and so on. Just as it is in this array up here. So the same structure, 0, 1, 2, 3. That's how we can use a for loop along with an array here to print out the items inside of it. Next video, we're going to be looking into how we can also sort it and how we can use the newer version of JavaScript to create a for each loop instead.